The day Amma heard a knock at the door. It was late evening. The rain had stopped, leaving behind the scent of wet earth and quiet streets. Amma sat on her old wooden chair, the radio humming softly in the background. Snowy, her white cat, slept curled near her feet, a small steady warmth in an otherwise empty room. Every creak of the house, every whistle of the wind had become familiar to her. But that night, a sound broke the pattern. A knock. 3 gentle taps on the door. At first, Amma thought she imagined it. No one visited her anymore. She waited. Silence. Then, another knock, firmer this time. Snowy's ears perked up. He lifted his head, alert, tail twitching. Amma's heart began to race. At her age, fear had a way of arriving before curiosity. She stood slowly, her knees protesting. "Who's there?" she called, her voice thin in the still air. No answer, only the distant dripping of rain from the roof. She hesitated, then unlatched the door. It creaked open with a sigh. Outside stood a young boy, maybe 12, shivering under a thin shirt, holding a small cardboard box. His hair was plastered to his forehead, his hands trembling from the cold. "Ma, can I use your phone?" he asked softly. "My cycle slipped near the road. I need to call my mother." Amma blinked, taken aback. A stranger, a child. She glanced at Snowy, who had padded up beside her, eyes cautious but calm. "Come inside, Beta," she said. "You'll catch a cold out there." The boy entered hesitantly, dripping water onto her floor. Amma guided him toward a chair and handed him a towel. "There's no phone here," she said with a faint smile, "but you can stay until the rain stops." He nodded quietly, eyes scanning the room, the worn photographs, the soft ticking clock, the smell of turmeric and old wood. Snowy approached him, sniffed his wet shoe, and sat down beside him as if giving approval. The boy smiled for the first time. They sat in silence for a while. Amma poured 2 cups of tea, one for herself, one for him. The boy wrapped his fingers around the warm cup, sighing. "You live alone?" he asked. Amma nodded. "Yes, my sons live in the city." He hesitated. "They don't visit." She stirred her tea slowly. "They're busy. Life pulls people in different directions." The boy lowered his eyes. "My mother says the same thing about my father," he murmured. For a long moment, neither spoke. Only the sound of rainwater dripping from the eaves filled the room. Then, suddenly, Snowy jumped onto the boy's lap. He froze, and then laughed as the cat's tail brushed against his chin. Amma watched, her heart softening. It had been so long since laughter echoed through her house. As the clock struck 9, the rain eased into a drizzle. Amma stood up and said, "I'll walk you to the road, Beta." "It's dark." The boy shook his head. "I'll find the way." "Thank you for the tea, Ma." He picked up his small box. Inside were flowers, slightly crushed by the rain. Before leaving, he turned and said quietly, "You remind me of my nanny. She used to keep milk ready for the cats, too." Amma smiled faintly. "She must have been a kind woman." "She was," he said, "but I didn't visit her enough." Then he looked down, guilty. Amma's smile faltered, but her voice was gentle. "She forgave you, Beta. Grandmothers always do." The boy smiled back, nodded, and stepped into the rain. She watched him disappear down the road, a small silhouette swallowed by mist and moonlight. Snowy meowed softly, jumping to the window ledge. Together they stood there for a while, woman and cat, watching the rain return to its rhythm. That night, Amma couldn't sleep. The boy's face lingered in her thoughts. She thought of her sons, their laughter when they were small, their quick goodbyes as they grew older. She missed them, but she no longer felt angry. The boy's visit had reminded her of something simple. Sometimes life sends you strangers when you need family the most. She got up, walked to the window, and poured a small saucer of milk. Snowy leapt down, purring. Amma smiled. "He reminded me of them, didn't he?" Snowy blinked slowly, like he agreed. She sat back in her chair, listening to the quiet house. It didn't feel so empty anymore. The knock on the door had done something she didn't expect. It had opened one inside her heart. And from that night on, Amma kept a little plate of sweets near the door. Just in case, she'd say, someone else needs warmth on a rainy night. Because loneliness never truly leaves us. But sometimes, kindness finds a way to sit beside it and turns it into peace.